You stand at the edge of dawn where the sky softens into sea, and the USS Missouri rests beneath your feet, a sleeping giant made of iron and memory. The deck is cool beneath your soles, and every step echoes gently into a silence that once roared. There was a time when these decks trembled, not with footsteps, but with cannon fire and the weight of decisions. Steel turned to flame, calm skies cracked open, and the ship, vast and unyielding, carried those moments across oceans like whispers stitched into her hull. Now, only the wind speaks. It moves through the railings like breath, and you listen, not for sound, but for the feeling beneath it, the lingering warmth of lives once lived here. Men once leaned on this same steel, gazing into distant horizons, their thoughts drifting toward home, their hands steady even when the world was not. They waited for orders, for morning, for peace. And in the waiting, the ship became more than metal. She became memory. You pause and close your eyes. And for a moment, you are not just standing on a battleship. You are suspended between past and present, between storm and stillness. The Missouri rests, but she is not empty. She holds every echo, every heartbeat, every name carved quietly into time. The light of dawn washes the deck in quiet silver, as if the sky too is remembering. You move slowly, your fingers brushing cold metal that once burned with fury. Now this place is still but not silent. It hums with echoes. The turrets, massive, unmoving, once awakened the sea with fire. Each blast was a thunderclap sent across the ocean, a message carved in smoke. But those guns did not roar alone. They carried with them the breath of every hand that loaded them, the steadiness of eyes fixed on distant shapes, pulse of fear and purpose braided tight. You feel it in the air, a weight, not heavy but certain, a kind of remembering that lives in steel. It holds the prayers whispered into helmets, the names muttered like charms, as the sky shook and the horizon vanished in flame. And still, beneath the noise, there was a quieter war, a battle to stay whole, to stay human. Letters tucked in breast pockets, shared rations and stories, moments of stillness between salvos, when even warriors became simply boys in the wind. The Missouri bore it all. Not just the armor and firepower, but the unseen burdens, longing, loyalty, the ache of remembering home while pretending not to. You pause again, your breath soft, and for a heartbeat, you're part of it, the ship's long echo. The sea is calm this morning, a quiet mirror beneath a sky washed in soft blue. The wind, too, seems hushed, as if it knows what this moment carries. You stand aboard the USS Missouri, the same ship that once roared with fire, now holding something far more delicate. A table, 2 pens, and the breath of history folding in on itself. It is September 2nd, 1945. Tokyo Bay stretches out like a scroll, waiting for the final words to be written. Generals arrive not with swords, but with solemn faces, their footsteps measured, as if they might disturb the silence that's taken years to earn. You see them gather leaders from across the world, shoulders heavy with the weight of nations. The table before them is small, but it holds more than wood and paper. It holds the quiet end of a storm that shook continents. The document is placed gently. 2 pens rest beside it, ink waiting to become something final. You hear no speeches, no trumpets, just the scratch of signatures written with hands that once gave orders to unleash fire. As names are inscribed, you feel something shift. Not in sound, but in the air, as if the war itself exhales. Empires that once rose with banners and bullets now fold beneath the weight of ink. There is no cheering here, only stillness, the kind that comes after a long, long night. Stillness, you realize, victory is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it signs its name and lets the silence speak. The storm is over, but the air still trembles with memory. You stand quietly watching the sun climb slowly across the waves, its golden light touching the ship like a blessing. The war has ended, not with a final roar, but with a hush so deep it seems to echo louder than any gun. The deck feels different beneath your feet now, not lighter but gentler, as if the Missouri herself exhales, releasing years of tension. into the wind. Sailors move with softer steps, their voices low, like men walking through the aftermath of something holy. You look around and see eyes no longer sharpened by fear, but softened by something they don't yet understand. They survived, yet they carry the quiet weight of all who did not. In their stillness, you sense the beginnings of morning woven into the threads of relief above you. Gulls glide in slow circles, calling to no one in particular, as if even they feel the shift in the world's rhythm. Beneath your hands, the steel no longer feels like armor, but like a memorial. There are no orders now, no alarms, only the sound of the sea lapping gently at the hull and the occasional clink of tools being put away for the first time without urgency. Peace, it seems, does not arrive in parades. It tiptoes in quietly, asking permission to stay. You close your eyes, and in the warm wind, you hear the voices of the past. Not shouting, but whispering. Not angry, but remembering. The ocean stretches like a soft blue sheet, wrinkled only by the gentle passing of the Missouri. She moves slowly now, not as a warrior, but as something quieter, a vessel of remembrance. You lean against the railing, tracing the horizon that glows faintly in the distance. There are no sirens. Here, no shadows of smoke trailing the sky. Only the steady hum of engines beneath your feet and the sound of water folding itself gently around the hull like a lullaby. This ship, and once thunder and fire, now carries something entirely different. She carries memory, every name once whispered. On deck, every farewell never spoken aloud. She carries the weight of history without needing to shout it. You walk the length of the deck, your steps light, as if not to wake her. Somewhere in the belly of the ship, old boots are still tucked beneath bunks. Letters still rest in drawers, and echoes still linger in steel corridors that remember laughter, fear, and the warmth of shared silence. You breathe in the sea air, salted and sunlit, and realize peace doesn't erase war. It holds it gently like a photograph too fragile to frame. The Missouri doesn't just sail away from battle. She carries its lessons with her, etched into every bolt, every rust-stained rivet. As a monument to power, but as a keeper of truth. And as the sun dips lower, the waves cradle her with reverence. A ship that once changed the course of nations, moving like a memory toward the edge of evening.